Hello everybody, this is Bud Fox with Ichimoku Trade, and what we're going to look at after this first week of trading is some of the trends for 2018. And one thing that I noticed about the first week of trading is cannabis is here. So first, let's go through the disclaimer. This video is for educational purposes only. We do not recommend trading any instruments at all. If you do want to engage in trading any financial instruments, I would consult with your financial advisor. I'm going to be using TradeStation charts for this. And again, this is just for educational purposes only. Okay. So now, we noticed in the first week that these cannabis stocks just went nuts this week. So we're going to go through a couple of charts of stocks and, you know, what we think and how they look. And then obviously there's the big problem with Jeff Sessions coming out and talking about this new war on pot. And is it real? Is it not? What does it mean? So first, let's just look at what actually happened this week. So the first stock I'm going to look at is Pot Network Holdings. Now, this was a stock that was sitting at 6.5 cents for quite a long time. So if you look at something like this, it was dead for a while, and it just quadrupled this week. I actually like this stock. I like it for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's holding the crosses. If you look, even though it's been volatile, I guess this was a day where it hit 29. We had some resistance dot, or oversold dot, oversold cross. And then this was the day that I guess the Department of Justice and Sessions announced that they were going to beef up, I don't know, arrest, whatever, remove Obama's, whatever he did. But even though we came down below the crosses, we still closed every day above the crosses at 17.3. In addition, if you look at past crosses, those kind of held. So that 12.3 level, 12.3 cents, seems to be a meaningful level. And of course, the 17.3 is also. The other thing I liked about this stock is that I think they did like $1.5 million in revenue for the quarter. And I thought I read that they're going to earn like 2 cents a share next year. So that's always good. Let's look at another one. Cannabis Pharma. Kind of like the same thing, although this started a little bit before the year. I know I read a lot of articles towards the last 2 weeks of the year about cannabis stocks and how cannabis was in for 2018. So, I mean, it looks like that's the case. This stock also just went viral and hyperbolic. And I mean, what did this go from? Just from $1.05 to $3, so that's a triple. We had a quadruple and a triple so far. This, I don't know now. I mean, it's trading below the crosses, below the daily KS, so this is a little more difficult for me to want to get into because, yeah, they're all volatile, so you have to deal with the crazy volatility, but it's just not holding the chart. And the 30-minute, I mean, it's bearish, so, you know, I'm not sure that I want to stick with that. Let's look at the 30 on POTN, just to go back to it for a second. This did go bearish up. Well, you know what? This is bearish from the 32, but it's still above the crosses. So, but again, I guess I'm more concerned with the fact that POTN's been able to close above that. those crosses in that cadence, and that makes it a little more my style. United Cannabis Corp. Again, another one that just went parabolic. I guess in December, if we took it from here, it's about 85 cents and went over $2. So that's close to a triple. Got some crosses above price now. Failed to close above the daily KS. 30-minute trading below the crosses. It's even trading below the 30-minute short-term support resistance dots. So again, I don't know. These are all tough to get in here because these stocks have tripled and quadrupled, and then you're trying to enter on a pullback. You got to be careful, but that doesn't mean that they can consolidate in price, consolidate in time, and then make another run. Oh, I don't know what this one is. JMJ Cannabis Corp. This looks good. This stuff, oh my God, this started out at $1.60 and ran to over 10. So this is probably like a 9-fold. This is nuts. But I mean, look at the way this is traded. Broke out, came back in, more or less held the daily Cajunson, popped again, came back down to the daily Cajunson. So this thing is being run right now by the daily Cajunson. So the fact that it hasn't gone bearish, I think this puts it a little bit ahead of the other ones. So this CANN and the POTN. Maybe the next time let these come into play, these would be the ones I'd look at because they've maintained their bullishness. Again, it's not, well, it's in the cloud now in the 30-minute, and it's below the short-term support dots. But wow, tenfold. This was the biggest winner by far. Buds Weed Inc. 2.5 to about 14. So I don't know, was that like 6-fold? And again, this is another one that I would follow. I mean, it's tough to get into these things, but it is holding its bullishness. It closed at the crosses at around 850. I'm sure it's probably 30-minute. Yep, same chart, just under the cloud bearish, but above the cross. Ultimately, I'd love to see all of these just consolidate in time, maybe in price a little bit. You do want to see it hold the bullishness, but like even here, if we could get to February and hold above that 785, and then the cloud starts to form, that could be a nice play if these things stay in play. All right, one more. Cannabis Wheat Income, 75 cents to $2.40. I guess that's a triple, and this thing looks good too. It took off. Looks like we held the Cajunson here. Boom. I'd like a pullback down to that $1.53 level. So I'd watch this one too. So the CANN, the POTN, the CBWTF, and Buds. Those looked good. So this stuff's definitely in play. I don't know what the whole Jeff Sessions thing means. I know there's going to probably be a fight between the states and Sessions. So until he really starts, I think there'd have to be like a case to happen first, where Sessions actually goes after people or somebody or a state. Until then, I would look at those big pullbacks as a chance to just buy a dip and ride the wave. Because as long as it's legal in those states, then the businesses are going to grow. So we'll see what happens. But again, it could change in a dime, and being in these things, you risk any time that Sessions comes out with something or the Department of Justice mentions something, they're all going to sell off no matter what. Some other things that I saw this month is I see a lot of the little biotech starting to pop up on my volume filters. I don't know if it's going to be a year of biotechs, but I just know in the value arena, I still like Gilead. Gilead was something we bought last year, like around June, like $66. I did a bunch of segments on it and went to 83. Pulled back. Actually, we could look at it. Again, this has nothing to do with cannabis. So this is still looking bearish, but again, it's a value play. It's above the crosses here at 73.30. So we'll see what happens. That would be the pullback buy, and maybe a stop below here, below 70. Buy at 73, sell at 71. $2 risk. There was another one that we were looking at. Vanda Pharmaceutical. We had popped here in December. We held those crosses. Came back up. We looked like we were having a cloud breakout, but it looks like we closed in the cloud, so that's kind of a failure. So I'm looking here at around that 1450 level as a pullback. And I'm also I'll be scanning, looking for stocks. Maybe I'll put a little bit more into any of these mini bios. Just something I've noticed to talk about. But again, the focus of this was cannabis. Is 2018 the year of the cannabis stocks? We'll be talking about them as long as they're in play. We discussed the four that still looked good were POTN, CANN, CBWTF, and BUDZ. Those were still bullish even after the sessions debacle. You have any questions, let us know. You have topics you want us to discuss, let us know. Info at ichimokutrade.com. Have a good day and good luck trading next week.